make it very interesting and impressive. The 2026 FIFA World Cup isn't just another football tournament. It's shaping up to be one of the most expensive sporting events in history. And if you're not prepared, you could be completely priced out before the first whistle even blows. Imagine this: the final match, the biggest moment in world football, and the cheapest premium seat might cost more than a brand new car. That's not hype. That's the direction things are heading as FIFA prepares a pricing structure that could shatter every record we've ever seen. Most fans think they'll just hop online in 2026, click a button, and grab a ticket. But the reality is far more brutal. By the time you're ready to buy, the game may already be over, not on the pitch, but in the ticket queue. This World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, isn't just about football anymore. It's about what many are calling the American premium, a shift toward entertainment-style pricing where demand, not fairness, determines cost. And right at the center of this shift is a system that could change everything: dynamic pricing. Now, before you even think about buying tickets, here's the most important rule: do not buy anything right now. If you see tickets being sold already, it's almost certainly a scam, because FIFA hasn't officially released a single seat yet. Based on past tournaments like Russia 2018 and Qatar 2022, there's a very clear timeline you need to understand if you want any chance of getting in. The process is expected to begin in early 2025 with something called an expression of interest phase on the FIFA Plus portal. It sounds harmless, but it's actually your first step into what can only be described as a global lottery. Later in 2025, the real battle begins: the random selection draw. This is where tens of millions of fans, possibly over 20 million, will compete for roughly 1 million tickets available to the general public. Think about those odds for a second. Statistically, you're more likely to experience something extraordinary, like being struck by lightning, than landing a top-tier ticket for a high-demand match like the opener in Mexico City. FIFA typically releases tickets in 3 phases. First, the lottery phase, which is pure luck. Second, a first-come, first-served phase, which is essentially a digital stampede. And finally, last-minute sales, where only the least desirable tickets remain. Miss that first phase, and you could end up paying 10 times the original price on resale markets. And that brings us to the part that's already causing shockwaves: the pricing. If you compare this to previous World Cups, the increase is staggering. Back in 2022, a basic group stage ticket could cost under $100. Now, projections suggest that even mid-tier tickets could start around $175 and climb rapidly. Why such a dramatic jump? The answer lies in where this tournament is being hosted. The United States, in particular, has a deeply entrenched culture of premium sports pricing, where fans routinely pay hundreds of dollars for regular season games in leagues like the NFL. FIFA understands this market, and instead of pricing tickets for global accessibility, they're leaning into what American consumers are already used to paying. Early projections suggest that Category 4 tickets, the cheapest tier, often reserved for local residents, could range from $40 to $80, while Category 3 might jump to $175 to $300. Category 2 could land between $400 and $800, and Category 1 seats could stretch from $900 all the way up to $1,500. But the real headline is the final. For a Category 1 seat at the championship match, rumored prices are circling around $3,500, and that's just for entry into the stadium. Once you factor in food, drinks, parking, and merchandise, the cost of attending a single match could easily spiral into thousands of dollars, especially for families. But even those eye-watering prices might not be the biggest problem. The real game changer is dynamic pricing, a system that adjusts ticket prices in real time based on demand. If you've ever tried to buy concert tickets or major sporting event passes, you've probably seen this in action. You click on a ticket listed at $200, wait in a queue, and by the time you reach checkout, it's suddenly $500 or more. That's dynamic pricing at work, and there's growing speculation that FIFA could adopt a similar system,
potentially through partnerships with major ticketing companies like Ticketmaster. If that happens, the entire concept of a fixed ticket price disappears. Instead, every purchase becomes a race against time and demand, where prices can spike in seconds. And here's the twist. The 2026 tournament will feature 104 matches, more than any World Cup before it. You might think more games would mean more availability and lower prices, but the opposite could be true. More matches give FIFA more opportunities to categorize games into high-demand and premium events, charging significantly more for blockbuster matchups while still keeping overall demand high-key. Even if you manage to secure a ticket, there's another challenge waiting: travel. Unlike Qatar, where everything was centralized, the 2026 World Cup spans an entire continent. We're talking about massive distances between cities, from Vancouver to Miami, from Los Angeles to Toronto. If your team advances through the tournament, you could find yourself booking multiple long-haul flights just to follow them. Airlines are already preparing for this surge, and it's highly likely that reward points and discounted fares will be restricted during peak periods. Hotels are another hidden cost trap. In smaller host cities where accommodation options are limited, prices could skyrocket, with some places requiring multi-night minimum stays at several times their normal rates. A smart strategy might be to stay outside major host cities and commute in, but even that requires careful planning and early bookings. Now, there is one workaround, something of a backdoor into the system, and it comes in the form of hospitality packages. These are premium bundles sold directly by FIFA that include guaranteed seats, food, and exclusive experiences. They're expensive, no doubt, often starting at over $1,000 for even basic matches, but they bypass the lottery entirely. For some fans, this might actually be the most reliable option. Think about it this way. If you risk losing the lottery and end up paying inflated resale prices anyway, a hospitality package might offer better value and peace of mind. These packages are typically released before general ticket sales, making them one of the earliest ways to lock in your spot. At the end of the day, the 2026 World Cup is going to be unforgettable. 48 teams, 3 countries, and a scale we've never seen before. But it also highlights a growing reality in global sports. The experience is becoming increasingly exclusive. What was once accessible to everyday fans is slowly transforming into a premium product. If you want to be part of it, preparation is everything. That means setting aside a budget now, registering early, staying informed, and understanding the system before it begins. Because when the tickets finally go live, it won't just be about passion for the game. It'll be about strategy, timing, and how much you're willing to pay to be part of history.